Hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here with an exciting acquisition video and a fix, repair, and hopefully get it to work video. This is an American reel mower. It's a small one. The issue being is that my daughter would love to mow the lawn with a reel mower, but my Great States is too big. She's only 10 and it's too tall for her and it can't get any lower. So having wheeled and dealed in these things, I finally picked up one that was small enough for her. This is a 14-inch unit. Now, when I say 14, they're being liberal there. It's 13 and a half between from reel to reel here. So it's not a super wide cut, but it will be easy to push, and it is very low. This is as I bought it, so it's missing its hubcaps. It's also missing its E-clips here for the handle, so that's just using the spring action to keep the handle from falling off. And as you can see, I'm not sure how well this was cutting, but probably not very well. It needs to be tightened up a little bit. Instead of having wheels, it's got the roller, which is more traditional, and it looks like it's set on the middle setting. There's several settings these can usually do, depending on where you put the main wheel and where you put the rear wheel, but this will probably just be fine. Neat sticker here, sharpen your blade in 10 minutes, see owner's manual. That's cool. And then the handle's kind of loose. It's had typical, somebody bought it, used it for a while, and there it is, type of neglect. So enough for the intro. I'm gonna take it over the pressure washer. I'll bring you two. We'll nail this thing down and bring it on back. I have no intent to do a full rebuild on this thing at all. I just want to make sure it's ready to go. Now, I washed it fairly thoroughly just because I knew that I was going to come in here and inspect everything. So I'll be able to drive any water and stuff out. So there's the E-clip. The wheel should just come out. And no surprises here. This is dirty. I'm going to clean that up. It looks like it's been greased before. That's not factory grease, so that's good news. That's probably why this reel's been so nice, but the paul's a little stickier than I use. It's a fairly heavy grease, so we'll just go ahead and clean all this up and put it all back together. So nothing visually crazy here, except for one side was extremely greasy and the other side was very dry. But yet it had grease at it in the past because there were some red remnants. So whoever did it either did it on one side real light or not at all. And like no grease had made it into this bearing that you see over here. Just some notes to make sure you guys remember. Your pawl here, your little clip hook, you want to make sure the flats, like it's at an angle, right? You want to make sure the flat lies against the flat of that right there. That gives you your most power right there. So just make sure when you put that in, it's got like that. And actually it was like checking it for rotation because you can get them flipped on the wrong side and then it'll only run backwards, which isn't cool. I don't mind grease. I mean, grease is fine. The problem I have with grease is that these are fairly dirty machines. And what happens is they get dirt in that grease and it essentially becomes a lapping compound and now you're just chewing on your plastic. So it's best to use a light oil, I find, and just do it do it every year. Just get in there and clean everything out, put fresh oil in and away you go. But otherwise, these gears were just packed with clippings and dirt and things like that to the extent that where the gears were just compacting it in. So you have to take a little, this is a little dollar store dental tool. Scrape all that stuff out, clean it off. I use WD-40 not as a lubricant here, but as a cleaner. This isn't straight 3-in-1 oil. It's actually, I think it's a 10W30 oil and about 50% and about 50% of this Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. If you've seen the little demonstrations or whatever, super sticky stuff. So between the two of them, you're getting lubrication properties of oil, but you're also getting something that's going to hopefully adhere to that surface for a long time. So I just wanted to kind of point these out before I stick that last E-clip in here. We'll flip it back on its face, and then we'll start working on this blade, see if we can get it the right tension. Just so it cuts paper nice, but it's easy to push. Neat, now that the chassis is clean and the blades are clean and a bunch of this dead grass juice is pulled off there, and just use my hook to grab into some places where some grass might be hiding. Understand that this thing's going to be coated in grass the first time you send it out there. Let's see how sharp it is. Not surprising at all. The fact that it free rolls like that. Yeah, it's not good. So the question is whoever messed with this, if anyone did ever mess with it, did they? I'm going to assume that these are correct, so I'll be doing tenths of a turn release and then power in. So what I'm going to do is actually going to back this guy up a little bit. Oh, and back it in a little bit. Oof. Come on. I might need to use a wrench on that one. So what we're doing here is we're rotating the blade up into the reel. Ooh, she's close there. But these are a little greasy. So what I actually might do is back them up, clean the holes, and put them back in just because they're so bad. So let me go grab some tools for that. I'm going to use an 11 here and take it out. It's good. Shoot a little oil on that and then put it right back in. And I'll do that to all four of them. Just bottom it out so it sits back to where it was. And now that we're back to being able to turn it, I'll just keep my wrench going for now. So we need to tighten this guy. There we go. There's a little bit of barely, and this one's way out. And so I'll tighten this guy. Better. Doesn't seem like I need to tighten this guy too a little bit. We're just looking for that perfect blade placement. Back this one up a hair. This one in a hair. This blade's actually under quite a bit of stress. Ooh, there we go. Oh yeah, that's what we want. She's a little biased towards that side. I haven't done anything yet. It's all over there. So I want to loosen you a little bit. Tighten this guy back in. I'd like to get them equal and then back them the same amount. See, we're definitely hitting hard there, so I'm actually going to have to tighten this guy. There we go. It's more of a still light over here. Like I'm looking at this reel here, nothing. But then here it hits all the way across. So let's put that down a little more. Tighten it again. Just a little bit in the middle. Go ahead on. I think that's as best we're going to get with that. So let's tighten this guy a little bit. Tighten this guy a little bit. So we're getting nothing on the ends and a bunch in the center. It's probably as good as we might get on this guy. Which means that this blade could be bent, like it landed on something and kind of arched it. It's not to say the outside's bad, it's just we're going to be fighting that the whole time. I'm going to loosen this guy a little bit. and this one a little bit. That one did not need to get loosened. So it's hitting this reel's hitting the corner here. It's hard to tell because this reel starts where this reel stops. My guess is that we'll tighten this one a hair. Just to loosen that guy a hair, that interface. Oh, we might have that. This needs to come. This guy does not need to get loosened for sure. As much as this one needs to get tightened a hair. Still waiting for a connection here on that reel. Maybe this other reel? No. Oh, that did it right there. Tighten it a hair. So it's pretty good right now. It's a little bit of drag across the whole thing, which is about what we want. It will self-correct. That's how we do with the paper test. Funny, I'm using a Greenworks electric mower instruction sheet here. Which way do I want to be? This way? Almost, wants to. It's a lot closer though. This is really fine paper. Like, yeah, see it? Right in the center. No harm there. It's definitely making contact though. Imagine if we gave it some runtime. This would probably be a candidate for a sharpening kit. I'm out of lapping compound though. But this would probably take a hone and just bam, she would be right on the money. All over the place. I wonder if I got paper towel. Let's see how it does with paper towel. No on that. No on that. Maybe not. Catch is I don't want to make it too hard to push, right? So we'll have to take it outside and give it a spin. Well, also lubricate these blades a hair. This is where I do use WD-40 just because it's a temporary cover anyway. Once it gets covered in the blood of the grass, it'll lubricate itself. The blades are rusty too. But the reel running on the blade will also kind of hone itself in as well. Kind of the more you use it, the better it is, until it gets way out of whack. So we got that, and now we have to throw our handle back on here, which is still kind of loose. So let's put the pretty side up. Both pretty good looking, so plop that in there. If I had the E-clips, I'd put them on. I don't have any replacements, but it's really tight here, but my handle, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of loose because of these guys. That was a lot of play, and then the handle up here is also loose and wet. So they're all nice and good to go. It's awful drag. Let's go take it for a spin, see how we're doing. Beautiful spring day, yard's full of chickens, a good stitch of grass over there. One chicken. That looks like a fairly good mower. Easy to push, seems to be cutting everything. What a way to have exercise. So if you have any questions, check out my other videos, but you can ask too. Yeah, and it looks like it's mowing pretty nice. you have any comments, leave those too. Oh yeah, just a couple pieces left over. I'll take that all day long. They don't make great trim mowers. Look at that. That's how you do it. What a nice little mower. I paid $30 for this one because I wanted one. Whenever you want one, they never come up. And probably could get 50 for it all tuned up. Yeah, this is a nice one. Ooh, hard to push these the thick stuff, but yeah, that's a nice little cut. Anyway, subscribe to my channel, Turbo231, for more real mower awesome. And I'll see you next time. I guess I should do the slow-mo outtake.